on YouTube. We're headed down to Columbus right now for the Arnold Expo. It's Sunday. Daylight savings fucked me up. Stole an hour from me, but that's alright. Yeah, headed down to Columbus for the Arnold Expo. I got a ticket for a photo op with Sam. That's gonna be cool. 5-10 seconds. I probably won't even get to say much to him, but as long as I get a photo, that's all I really care about. The meet and greet was sold out, expectingly. But there's a shit ton of stuff to do there other than just meeting Sam. It's gonna be a hell of a day. Going down by myself as usual, lone wolf shit. I'm used to it. But yeah, alright, we here. Went to 3 parking garages before I found one that's open. See y'all when I get in there. This place is packed even on a Sunday. Wish me luck. Oh yeah, they're letting everybody in right now. Let's get it. We got leg press. Here. Just met Sam. Now we're gonna walk around the expo a little bit. See if we can get some free stuff. See if we can just, I don't know, do some challenges. Just to take in the whole experience. It was awesome meeting Sam, bro. Like, core memory for sure.
On this very stage, you made your pro debut. You heard the ovation that you received from the crowd then, and you see the love and admiration. What's this weekend been like for you competing in your pro debut?
There we go. Yeah, I tell you, this was a long time coming. I mean, you know, I've dieted before. I'm no stranger to it, but I spent a much longer period with this show. So I was dieting for like 6 months straight. So the only thing I'm thinking about was, you know, this whole show and people to, you know, come out and show out. And the
me, aside from the fact that you stood in there amongst some of the best in the world in the classic physique division, is that when you came out on the stage and you heard the reception, the noise, how the fans stood for you, the moment didn't seem too big for you. You seemed to take it in. You had this big smile on your face, and that smile stayed on throughout the entirety of your time on the stage.
Yeah, well, I think, at least for me, my main goal was to improve from my last show, be a little bigger, a little leaner, a little harder. So the fact that I knew I did that already, for me to come on stage, the work's already over, and I just get to enjoy it. And it was way more fun than I could have thought. Like, if you ever do a competition like this, you get this imagination of like what it's gonna feel like and what you're gonna, and actually doing it exceeded my expectations by miles.
There is the part where you're introduced onto the stage. You come out, you do your individual routine, but now you're standing against some of the best in the world. You're standing against the likes of a Wesley Vissers, of a Matthias Menegante. As a new bodybuilder, as a new competitor, what is that moment like for you where you kind of look to your right and like, holy crap, that's Wesley Vissers, one of the best in the world?
Yeah, it definitely felt like I showed up to a pretty heavy competitive lobby. I mean, these guys are pretty much freaks, but I've gotten to see, talk to Wesley a few times. I think the open bodybuilders were a little bit tense backstage. I'm sure there's a lot of rivalry there. For us, all the classic guys all seem super chill. Like we're talking, just warming up, pumping up everything.
It was a ticket to be a pro, but then also a ticket to make your pro debut potentially on one of the biggest stages in all of bodybuilding. Take us back to that prep. Your first prep as an amateur, going into an amateur show, and then eventually culminating in you achieving your pro card.
Yeah, so I mean, if we go back in time a year and a half, all right, I'm getting pretty big, this has been my whole plan anyway. If you're gonna compete and you really want to show something off, there's no age limit, there's no more time limit. Like you can spend as long as you want to get ready. So in my mind, I want to step on stage at least reasonably freaking first. So the Arnold amateur is about 6 months away, and I get it in my mind, okay, I think let's try to do this show. But I didn't announce it. This was when my announcement for that I was going to compete was, I think I'm 5 days out from that first amateur show in Vegas. But there were 350 pounds of muscle on season. And then on stage, it's 300 pounds. We started
Competing there. When you consider now your strategy, you have seen pictures, you've seen videos of how you looked on stage, your presentation. Have you already begun to do the homework as far as, all right, here are the adjustments that I need to make to bring a better package, a better presentation to the United Kingdom?
Yeah, I think so. I've got a basic plan. So I'm going to do my cardio. I'm going to stick to my calories. Even in 2 weeks, you can lose 2 pounds of body fat. So I can get a teeny little bit leaner. But when it comes to the actual pre-show changes, I'm going to try to stay a little fuller and not deplete so much initially. Because I got pretty depleted before I carved up, which I think was slightly to my detriment. Because if I'm on stage, I want to be as full as a friggin' house. So instead of peeling down to check in 4 pounds underweight, which is what I did for this show, I might try to cut it a little closer, come in only 1 pound underweight, and then really fill up and kind of have more of a fuller look without spilling over, of course.
How much cardio would you say you do on a typical basis, but then heading in peak week, the last couple of weeks, how much would you up your cardio to get in contest shape?
Yeah, so a typical basis, 30 minutes a day, that's my daily recommendation. At this point, I'd honestly call it a daily mandate. If you're not doing it, you've got a freaking problem. But I've ramped it up. For a while, I was doing 2 hours a day, so an hour morning session and an hour at night. I think that was a little too much, so I pulled it back. Because when you're dieting, you got to do 2 things. You need to burn more energy and eat less food. Now, I can't do 8 hours of cardio a day. That's going to be too much. I'm going to start burning muscle. Like, that's a legitimate too much cardio. But somewhere in between, which I think for me would be 90 minutes, is about as much as I can still recover from. So if I'm doing 90 of the territory with just putting it all out there. You know, I can eat a bunch of cinnamon toast crunch in private and not talk about it. And there's a version of Sam in a different universe where I say I only ever ate chicken and rice, and that was all I ever did. And I wouldn't get any of these response videos. So it's just kind of part of the territory. In terms of my response, I think the most enlightened person could watch all of these kind of, let's say, rage-bait videos and not get upset at all. The second most enlightened person just would watch it. So that's what I've been doing. Over these last 3 months, I've watched like 6.5 seasons of Mad Men. Just any kind of show. My short-form content consumption has been way down. And I'm gonna try to keep it like that. I mean, there's so much brain rot anyway. It's probably good for me not to watch it.
You're a Mad Men fan.
Yeah, I like it.
Respect. What other shows does Sam Sulek consume when he needs some time away from everything else?
I think I might be on my 7th rewatch of Breaking Bad, maybe my 4th rewatch of Better Call Saul. I've only rewatched The Sopranos twice, but that's up there as well. You know, I know that Game of Thrones is good. I just haven't started it yet. It's on the list.
You're from Columbus, Ohio, correct? Or somewhere from around here?
Yeah, I had a 30-minute drive. I'm seeing everybody post their 9-hour Google Maps estimated travel. I'm like, yeesh, you know, I'm locked down.
You know, I have to ask because, again, your proximity to the Arnold Classic and, you know, your relationship here with the Arnold Classic, the committee, and you look around this expo right now, 38th year for the Arnold Classic, and obviously there was the interruption with COVID. There were a couple of years where there was no expo. We're now, I think, 4 years post-COVID in terms of the expo, and you see now, we're back to peak Saturday, Sunday, where you can hardly get through the hallways. As a local, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's incredible. But in terms of why I've ever come to the Arnold Expo, the first one I ever came to was actually back in like 2016. I used to do gymnastics, like swinging around the middle bar, and doing flips on the floor, because they've got pretty much any sport you can think of. I'm getting out of the elevator to go to the parking lot, and they've got ballroom dancing going on in the basement of the hotel. So it was kind of a weird connection. There was once a younger, much smaller Sam walking around in tights with chalk on his hands, getting ready to do some acrobatics like 10 years ago, coming through the expo hall because somewhere in this space was all the gymnastics stuff. And it was really good. I wasn't going to college for gymnastics. All right, you know, I'm sure you think I'm just going to say do your cardio. Obviously, that is what I think. But, you know, I like to, every time I'm at an expo like this, I almost always say the same thing. That right now, I think everybody's motivation and hype for the gym is way up. We're all locking in this year. We're going to do it. I'm going to compete. I mean, I hear so many guys backstage when they get to talk to like a Derek Lunsford or Nick Walker, and they see them win their show, and they say, oh, dude, I'm going to do it. 3 months later.
So we're in line to meet Andrew Jack right now. It's gonna be dope. go, man. I appreciate it. There we go. Good stuff. Well, y'all, that's it. We're headed back to the car. Look what we found on the ground. It's dead, but look at that cart. Pretty full. Now we're back at the gym. You know, I'm tired as shit, but I'm still gonna go in here and get one in. I think I'm gonna hit probably a push day. Chest, triceps, and shoulders. See y'all in there.
Working in the rain and shit. I like working in the rain. Oh man, you're fucking. It keeps you cool. Get over that. It keeps you nice and cool, man. Get over that.
It's gonna be fucking in the
Car yet? What?